All right. Happy Veterans Day. They have served our country. Now it's time for us to serve them. This Veterans Day, we are shining a light on the powerful benefits of home ownership that's available to veterans. And so we're going to talk all about those benefits, long term wealth through real estate for our veterans, our active duty service member, and those surviving spouses. So, once again, happy Veterans Day to all of those great veterans that definitely go the extra mile to serve our country so that we can have the freedoms that we have today. So, we're going to talk all about some great tips for the real estate sector for our great veterans. And we're also going to talk about some mortgage programs and how to leverage some of that as well. So, let's just hop right into it, right? So, Gavin, when we talk about veterans and we talk about financing, we talk
Mhm.
about lending and mortgage and things like that, what's the number one thing that you say would come to mind as far as the every veteran should be taken advantage of if they have served our country and they want to buy a house?
Man, this is a good topic. So, first thing that come to mind, man, zero down payment, baby. No down payment up front
Mhm.
for our beloved veterans and all those who served this great country of ours. Um, guys, so that would be number one thing. The other thing, you got no PMI, no private mortgage insurance
Mm.
on a VA loan. So that lowers what that monthly payment is going to look like. And if you've, depending on if you're disabled veteran or retired, sometimes you're exempt from what they call as a financing fee, but that's going into the weeds. We're going to stay above the surface, but you can be exempt from a financing fee, which also reduces cost and is an added benefit for our veterans.
Yeah, yeah. So I think you're referring to the funding fee, right? So that
Yeah.
funding fee, yeah, definitely gets waived for certain people who definitely meet those requirements, which on you guys' end is an added benefit because as Gavin mentioned, it definitely helps lower your mortgage payment. In addition to it can help you qualify for a bigger purchase price as well when you don't have to finance in that particular funding fee. So just keeping on topic. Some of the benefits when you talk about veterans and some of the benefits that they can do, not only using the VA loan to buy their house. I know a lot of times people may ask, well, can I use my VA loan more than once? Because or is it a one-time thing, one and done, or can it be used more than once? And if so, how would a person typically do that? Because I think there's a little bit of misconception when it comes to the usage of that VA loan and how many times it can be done.
hmm Yeah, I mean, I'll take that. So, you can it's called subsequent use. You can use your VA loan more than once. The rule of thumb is that you just have to be buying a primary residence. VA loan can only be used to purchase a primary residence. So you have to buy with the intent to live in that residence for up to a year. Um, Now, once you live in that residence, can it be converted into a rental property upon your next purchase? Absolutely. Um, but you can't. So that way, that's how you continually, because people in the military, they buy and move. They get stationed in different places. So let's say you buy a home in every place you're stationed. You can have multiple VA loans that you leave behind, but you have what's also called it's like a restoration. Help me, Lashawn. I got the terminology.
Your entitlement.
Yes, your entitlement. There we go. You have to restore your entitlement. Yes, you can have more than one VA loan, but if you don't have enough entitlement to afford your next home, then you're going to have to either um, refinance to a different loan program for the existing property, and then you can utilize that VA loan going forward.
Yeah,
Yeah,
or sometimes you can pay the difference out of pocket as well.
yeah. If you
Who
got
might
that.
have you? Yeah, you got it like that. You could do it. Have you ever do you work with generally a good bit of veterans in the areas that you serve the most? Do you typically kind of leverage the VA loan with some of your clients?
Well, I have experience with working with veterans, and I will say I can't say that they are the majority of my clients. However, man, every time I work with them, it's been a pleasure. I will say that, and to know that I can assist them with their next home gives me, some fulfillment as well, because I know they served us, served our country. And uh, w- I will say this though, I do love that there's a program for the veterans like this,
Mhm.
because there's so many benefits, like you guys have talked about, when it comes to having a VA loan. I think the biggest one, and I was just talking to a young lady recently that was renting an apartment, and I was explaining to her, I was like, hey, man, you can buy a house, um, and with your VA benefits, without you, having to put any money down. And I'm saying this out, with some caution, because there are ways someone could literally use their VA loan, seller can pay for their closing costs, and it's very minimal out of pocket costs for that buyer. Okay, they may
Mhm.
have to pay for the home inspection, earnest money, and we can work
Mhm.
those things out, but it's very minimal for that buyer, especially let's say like a new build, new construction, or something like that, where sellers are really, really throwing money at these buyers in order for incentives so that they can purchase the home. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you raised really, really, really good points. So definitely, if you're thinking about trying to figure out a way to build wealth, and have served this country, or if you're currently serving this country, I mean, one of the house hacking tips we'll give you is that you can buy a 2 to 4 unit property, right?
Mhm.
So instead of just buying just a single family 1 unit property, you might want to buy a duplex, you might want to buy a tri or a quadplex or whatever. Live in one, buy it with your VA loan, rent out the other. That's instant, wealth building opportunities right there for veterans with no money down. I mean, there's
Yeah.
not another program that anyone else can kind of take advantage of and buy an income producing property, putting down no money, possibly get closing costs. Because on a VA loan, I think one of the things people don't understand is that a seller or a builder can contribute up to 4% towards their
Mm.
closing costs, and they can contribute another 4% towards helping them pay off debt and things like that too. So
Right.
there's lots and lots of benefits for veterans to take advantage of their VA loan, so that they can definitely use it to build wealth.
Yeah, one thing I forgot to hit on, which was probably also equally as important as not having a down payment, is that there's really no debt to income requirement when it comes
Yes.
to VA loans.
No.
Wow.
So when you have on conventional USDA, FHA loans that have certain guidelines to where you can't exceed a certain debt to income ratio. Um, that kind of that goes out the window for VA. Now it can't be astronomical, of course, but there's truly no limitation if we're able to get an automated approval. Then guess what? It works. So it gives veterans more buying power,
Wow.
and
Wow.
it also gives them um, more buying power in terms of that there is no minimum credit score requirement either. So
Correct.
you got so many added benefits. I just kind of skimmed over that no minimum credit score requirement because, but that's equally as important with today's struggle. I mean, if you're a veteran and you may not have the best credit, but it could still be advantageous to your benefit because your program doesn't have a requirement. We may get you qualified over someone who isn't eligible for a VA benefit and may even have higher scores than you, but because they don't qualify for that program, they aren't eligible. Um,
Mm.
so the minimum score requirement, that there is no minimum score requirement, the debt to income ratio limitation is much higher. Like again, there's no set DTI requirement, and then no down payment. So you got a lot of layers of all these
Yeah,
Mm.
added
let me put some disclaimers in there real quick though. So there Gavin is absolutely correct. There's no minimum credit score requirement. However, every lender is different.
This
Now,
is true.
some lender may have something called overlays. And so, with those overlays, that particular lender may not accept a credit score below a certain threshold. So, keep that in mind. So, definitely do your due diligence and know which lenders is going to adopt, the raw VA rule versus those who have their own overlays that may put their own parameters around it. But nevertheless, those benefits do still stick. Last thing I want to just talk about before we wrap up for today is that there are so many benefits to if you are already a homeowner and either you're thinking about selling your home or you're thinking about making renovations or repairs to your home, you can leverage that VA loan as well to kind of help borrow against the equity in that property to do like a VA renovation loan. You can do a VA construction to perm loan where you can build on your own land with no money down. You could do that too.
Wow.
Yeah, like a lot of people don't even know that these things are available to them, but yes, they can absolutely do that. And then sometimes just right now, I mean, we're actually in a great position right now. Interest rates are falling. So if you have an existing VA loan and you had it for a few months, usually it's 210 days, you can just do something called an interest rate reduction. You can call your lender and say, hey, I want to reduce my interest rate. I heard rates are down, and it's a much easier process. You don't have to get an appraisal. You don't have to, usually there's no credit score requirement. There's no credit check, things like that. Like it's very simple. And so a lot of lenders definitely cater to, the veterans and things like that to offer them all these added benefits for the great service that they provide to us. When we say the word veterans, but that's inclusive of people who are currently serving as well and their surviving spouses too. So one of the things I would ask Wilmot is like when it comes to the market right now, what are you seeing? I know Orangeburg, the nearest probably base would probably be Columbia, I'm thinking, or Charleston, probably evenly spread because there's a base outside of Columbia and a base outside of we have two bases in Charleston, so maybe Charleston, but
Mhm.
Orangeburg is a lot more affordable right now, and so
It
I'm
is.
pretty sure with just the growth, there may be a lot more influx of veteran opportunities or military benefits maybe being used in Orangeburg because of just the people want more land and bigger lots and things like that. Have you kind of seen or heard anything along those lines?
Well, I I can to be honest with you, not really. It's not. I don't. I still deal with uh veterans from time to time.
Mhm.
However, I haven't heard anything pertaining to an influx of veterans into the area or anything like that. But we do have North Air Force Base.
Okay.
Um, that's right around the corner from Orangeburg. And but the thing is that the cool thing about Orangeburg, we are that center point between
Mhm.
Columbia and Charleston. So veterans that are out there looking to get more bang for your buck, man, Orangeburg is a great place for you
Right.
to come and try
Yeah.
to invest in a property and maybe commute to wherever you have to go. So
Yeah, man. Well, good deal. So, guys, just as we kind of wrap up for today, once again, we thank you so much for your service and happy
Yeah.
Veterans Day. We're going to give you guys just a bit teaser what we're going to talk about next week, right? Woman, you asked us one thing. One thing. What did you ask us?
I
When
said,
before we hopped on.
well, I said, what y'all think about this 50-year mortgage thing that's out
50-year
here?
mortgage.
50,
It is.
50-year mortgage. And it sparked a really good conversation right before we almost switched up and did it today. But we're going to talk about that next week. We're going to dig into it,
Right.
tear it apart, poke holes in it, see what's the good, the
Yes.
bad, and the ugly with it.
Oh yeah.
And I think it's gonna be a
Yes.
great session. So yeah.
I totally
Mhm.
agree. So, guys, definitely tune in next week to hear all about the 50-year mortgages, the pros and cons of it. Until then, stay warm. It is cold on this east coast of our. We're not used to this type of weather here, but definitely, guys, we'll see you guys next week. Yeah, have a great day.
Yeah. Salute.